Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options and Play video update. One of the things that I love about earnings season is the potential for big moves, right? Big gaps, big pops, big drops. But just like some of these crazy overnight bars that you normally see around like news events, right? And each quarter a little bit different in terms of like the action following earnings, right? So some quarters it things like gap and go and just take off. Some quarters things gap and then reverse, right? You get like one fast extended move and things kind of like either rebound or they roll over. One of the things I've noticed, and granted, not all of these are earnings, but one of the things I've been noticing type of a pattern is what I call in the on off on. All right, and when I go through it, just a couple examples, you'll see what I mean. And I want to put this on your guys' radar as we get into earnings season because you're going to see a lot more gaps, and maybe this can become like a useful strategy for you. All right. So Twilio. So this wasn't earnings, but this was at an investor day, right? So let me zoom in here, and what you will see is that you had this one huge move on the day of the catalyst, right? So major bar closed not at the absolute high, but close to the high. And then the following day, right? So this day, it basically never had any life. It really had at no point any material strength. It never really even went green, right? And just hung out. It didn't give back a ton of the gains, but it gave back a little bit of the gains, but really just didn't have any life. So after a day when it was up huge and closed near the high, the following day, so what I'm calling the off day, so the second day of the move, really no life, right? And then what happens is on the third day, back on, and then bulls and buyers just get going like right off the open, and they take it higher and just rip to a new high, right? So you have on day, off, where the stock has no life, really never trades green, and then the third day is what I'm calling the on day, right? AYX, another name. All right, so same idea in the sense that it's a huge gap. It wasn't earnings related, but they gave preliminary guidance and they talked about or they announced the CEO transition. Right? What do you notice? Huge up day, right? Closed not at the absolute high, but close to it. Right? Definitely a very strong session. Following day, really not a whole lot of life, no follow through. Basically, hang out in like a marginally lower range the entire day, and then the third day, right? So on, off, and now it's back on. The stock rips. So it did end up closing off its high, but you can see that it opened strong, and at one point was up materially during the day. It did roll over, but you get the idea. You get the on, then the off day, and then the really strong on day. All right. And then one last one, and this is again prior to today. So I mean, I'm not even going to show you what happened today because it doesn't really matter in terms of this trade. But strong move, right? This time it wasn't necessarily earnings or news related, but it kind of fell into the same category, right? So one crazy strong up day, huge volume, closes right at the high, so just a very strong session, closed near the high. Following day, just not a lot of follow through, right? Just could not extend higher, hung around, chopped around in a lower range, and then what do you know? Third day back on, and the stock opens green and just rips and continues to extend higher, right? So you get this really strong on session. The second day is the off session, and the third session back on, and you're looking for like another leg higher, right? So um, these stocks are all software names, but I do think that this is a pattern you really want to keep an eye out for across like all sorts of different stocks because I've seen it happen more than occasionally, and normally if I see it happen a couple times, three, four, five times, then that's like a real pattern, and it's something that I'm gonna be on close watch for. All right. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information on option swing trading or trading earnings with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options and play. I hope you have a wonderful night. Stay well, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.